right, everybody. Welcome to Happy Hour Meetup. How the heck are you, Brian?
Hey, I'm good. How are you doing?
Hey, not too bad. Can't complain. I'll say this. I don't know what kind of weather you're having over where you're at, but it was a beautiful day here in North Iowa. Last I looked, it was like 64 degrees, and that's kind of unheard of this time of year for us. So it was just a beautiful day, and we'll take it. How about over your way?
I think it's around 60 or low 60s. I'm wearing a sweatshirt today, so that's kind of cold, I guess, for me. But
That's so you're about the same, probably around the same temperature wise then, the way it
yeah,
sounds. So
yeah, I think it's supposed to be like in the 70s the next couple of days, and then after that it drops into the 50s. So we'll see.
yeah, definitely. How you doing, Mike? Welcome to the happy hour. What you drinking tonight? Oh, how about you, Brian? You got anything are you drinking anything on happy hour today?
I got the regular water again, so
H2O.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm drinking something a little different. It's called Essential Energy. It's like amino energy. It's in the health food section. There's like some natural caffeine in there, but I drink that once in a while. Gives me a little boost for the afternoon. I'm kind of tired, but one of those things, I guess. But yeah, I've been drinking that all along, so it hasn't really affected my weight loss, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Yep, down in southern Iowa and Harlan there, 61 degrees. Yep, pretty nice. Yeah, definitely is going to be a beautiful sunset. Unfortunately, I won't be able to see it. I'm in the basement and it's kind of dark. I can't see out. So, Brad, welcome to the show. Yep, diet Dr. Pepper. I haven't had one of those for a while. Those are pretty good once in a while too. So, I'm just waiting for a few more people to pop on. I know I was going to say William said he'd be back on here in a little bit. So that's awesome. Brian, what are you having for supper tonight?
I don't know. Let's see what I have. I had I guess it was about a 22 ounce New York strip steak for lunch, like around 1 o'clock.
Ooh,
And I
wow.
also had like a sausage with it, like a sausage link, like regular, like bratwurst style
Yeah.
sausage. So I'm not sure if I'm going to eat again. I'm not hungry yet. So if
Yeah.
I do get hungry, I'm probably going to have like some eggs or something, but
Yeah.
I'm not really that hungry right now. So
Eggs are kind of my go-to late at night too. If I get hungry a little later in the early evening, maybe 9 to sometimes 10 o'clock, I'll have a few eggs just if I'm hungry, because I'd rather eat that than munch on chips or something else. So yeah, I just took out some sirloin steaks, 4 of them. I'm not sure how many I'm going to eat, but that's on the menu tonight at my house. So looking forward to that. I don't think I've had a steak yet this week. So looking forward to that.
well, you definitely want to eat all 4 then.
Yeah, I should go for bust and have them all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I don't like to hear that's going to be colder for Thanksgiving, Mike. That's a bummer. So I hope we don't get snow. Oh, ribeye and pork belly. Yum, that sounds pretty good too. Definitely some good eating going on for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. So Brian, I've just to kind of touch base. We have a game tomorrow night that we'll be doing a low carb football party. I know that's fun as usual. Should be a good show. If I remember right, it's a pretty good game. I'm just trying to remember what teams were playing, but I know it was a decent one, wasn't it?
I think is it.
I'm thinking a Monday night's really good too.
I think it's the Bengals and the Ravens. Let me double check
Yeah,
that.
that should be a good game if it is. So yeah, is it the Bengals and Ravens? Ooh, that should be a good game too.
In Baltimore, yeah.
Yep, definitely, because Baltimore's been pretty good. I know they lost this last week, but they've been pretty solid. So that should be a good football game for sure.
Yep.
So Brad's wondering when I'm going to do the sardine challenge. Brad, how about never?
I think we should do it tomorrow night during the game.
I think I'd get sick for the rest of the deal. That just does not sound appealing. William says, done with food, is resting now. Awesome. Time to chow down. That'll be yummy too, for sure. Yep, Bengals and Ravens look tough. And then, that kind of reminds me, we were talking just a little football. This show's not going to all be about football. We're just going to bring it up. But I just want to advertise, we're doing the low carb football party tomorrow night. And then next week, we're going to have a special show on Monday night instead of Thursday, just because Thursday next week is Thanksgiving. I know Brian's got family home. I have family home. And I think we're going to try and enjoy some time with them. And we're going to do a Monday night show instead. And I know it's a great game on Monday night, too, is the Eagles versus, who was it? The Eagles.
Chiefs.
The Chiefs, yeah. So that should be a great game Monday night. So we're going to do the low-carb football party that night. And I already have one guest lined up for that already. So we'll hopefully get another one on there, too. And that should be a good time, a lot of fun. It'll be fun to try Monday night instead of a Thursday night. It'll be a little bit different for us, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It'll be like the Peyton and Eli Manning brothers, Peyton and Eli. Instead of them, it'll just be Greg and Brian. So
yeah, exactly. Yep, that sounds good. I should probably watch them more often, just to see what they have to say. But I just haven't been in tune. Are they usually Thursday night or Monday? They're Monday night though, aren't they? Yeah,
they do the Monday night. Yeah. They usually have another, either a former player or something like that, NFL player on as a guest, like each quarter or something like that.
Nice.
And then it's always great, like towards the end when there's like something shocking that happens in the game, because they'll just sit there for like 5 minutes going, and they don't really say anything. They're just like, "Oh my God, how did that happen?"
Yeah.
There'll be a quarterback throws an interception, and they just look disgusted, right?
Yeah, definitely. So shifting away from football a little bit, Brian, I know you had some exciting stuff happen the end of the week and over the weekend. Do you want to tell the viewers what's going on? And that'd be awesome to hear.
Yeah, so I had my story as, doing carnivore and losing the weight and the health benefits and so forth, and the a-fib and all that. That was actually featured in Newsweek on the My Turn section. So kind of like how you had done whenever that was, like 2 months ago, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, it's the end of September. Yep.
Yeah. So, similar type of deal there. So that was pretty cool, and definitely helped getting my message out there and getting more people to view my channel. So that's pretty cool, and just helped me to, share my experiences with everybody. And, the big thing for me, I think, that's a little bit unique that you don't see a lot in the carnivore space is talking about my a-fib and how that has improved so much. I feel like I'm in remission, really, because I haven't had an episode in like 14 months or whatever it is. And, taking off the medication more recently, the cardiologist gave me a good report and everything. So for me, that's a cool piece, because I think that I get the chance to share that with more people. And there's going to be people out there that have a-fib, and this, now they'll realize that looking at diet is something that, could potentially help them. It's helped me. It's helped a lot of other people. So it could potentially help them as well.
Yeah. No, I was going to ask you, I think that's awesome. And I, especially like you said, talking about a-fib, and I was going to ask you, have you gotten some questions and feedback on that article going out? Have you had interest, people asking more questions of you since that did come out?
Yeah. And it's interesting, like on Facebook, like some of my friends and family have reached out. So one of my family members had reached out and said, like, yeah, I think maybe this is what I need to start doing. And, I told them, hey, just reach out to me if you have any questions and so forth. And then I had another friend on Facebook that reached out and said, yeah, I have, the same exact issues that you had in the past. So I'm going to look into this. And then there's been a few emails and, texts and that kind of stuff as well. So it's, it's bringing awareness, which is exactly what I'd like to see it do. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, Brian. I'm really happy for you, and it definitely looks like it's helped your YouTube channel, like you said, get the message out there, and you got quite a few more subs, and that's awesome. So great job, buddy. It's nice to see you get the recognition for your accomplishments, and you put in the time and effort to change your life, and the results are paying off for you. So great job.
Yeah.
I see Brad. Let's see, Brad's wanting to. He said, "What dollar a sticker does he need to buy to get me and Brian to each do the sardine challenge?"
So I have a couple cans of sardines in the pantry, so I could do this. I think we need to figure this one out because I could do it.
Yeah, maybe we should do that Monday night. That might be give me a little time to prepare mentally, and then it's a week of Thanksgiving. Why not, right? I don't know.
You might not want to eat the rest of the week, but that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. So Mike thinks that's funny too. Yeah, do it. Yep. No, that's all exciting news though, and great news, Brian. That's pretty awesome. And I remember, and we can advertise our show now as seen in Newsweek, both guys, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, and we have to start doing that. It's like, yeah, like kind of like Mike said, we're famous now.
Yeah,
that's funny. But
it's interesting. Now, I don't know if you've probably seen this too, but so it's been not quite a week that it's been out, but I'm already getting emails from places that are saying like, "Hey, I saw your story in Newsweek, and we want to talk to you about potentially promoting your story out to other places." So I I don't know if you've seen those or not. I've had a couple of them.
I didn't have
I'm
that.
I'm a little leery on those because
Yeah.
they want you to just go through them and then you get a percentage or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know, this Newsweek thing, like I didn't get anything out of this other than it's good recognition for
Right.
for carnivore, but in this case like they want to give you money, but I don't know, that's not something like that I'm sure about. You got to make sure that they're a legitimate place, and yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I sent you I know email this week. I definitely was approached by a company about doing a paid sponsorship, and this one it does look legit. I did the homework on it, and I'm probably going to do that. But yeah, you got to be careful because there's definitely scammers that will try to take advantage of you. And I'm trying to think. I think I had people reach out to me. Of course, it was more like, oh, you got to change your thumbnails, or hey, your algorithm stuff isn't right, or you need to do, and they're all wanting $1, of course. So I just
Yeah.
kind of ignored those. But you definitely, you got to be careful for
Yeah.
sure.
What's interesting with this is it's not like a sponsorship thing, like me promoting a service or something. It's like
Right.
they want to sell my story to other news outlets or something. And it's like just seems weird to me. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, that
It's
does seem
interesting.
weird. Yeah, that does seem really weird because somebody could come right to you if they wanted a news article, yeah, for
Yeah,
another place. So,
exactly.
oh, Mike was just saying sardines are the perfect food, protein to fat ratio, omega-3s and iodine. Just add some Tabasco if you need to. I love me some sardines.
Yeah, I mean, so they're not bad. And they, like he said, that they're great. The omega, threes in them are that's great for you, right? It's really good for you. Um, and for me, I cooked them when I tried them before, and I thought that they tasted all right. Just put some salt on there with them. But the problem is, like, at least especially when you cook them, I guess it really smells, and the rest of the family did not like that. So I've kind of been banned from doing that for a while here. So
You can eat them
I
right
haven't
out of
gotten
the
to play that.
can, right? You can eat them right out of the can, though, can't you?
I think you can. I'm not sure I want to, but I think you can.
It just sounds gross. Oh man, Brad's saying he can drop one off at my house because he knows where I live, and yeah, he does know where I live. Yeah. Hopefully, the one I'm working on, should be good. I more or less get free product out of the deal to try, and obviously I do a video about it. It looks like an interesting product though, so I definitely I'm looking forward to maybe trying that and see what happens. Dabble with it. It looks like I'm safe, and it looked legit, like a legit company and stuff. So as long as I'm not giving out personal information, I should be good, I would think.
Yeah.
Brad's always eating the sardines right out of the can. I know. I think I saw Christy and Aaron do that sardine challenge, and they ate them right out of the can. I know. So. Yeah, like Mike says. I know Mike's worked in media and stuff too. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, that seems weird.
Yeah, definitely. Those sponsorship opportunities will come though, Brian, for sure, especially as you grow your channel and you know, people are interested in your story and what's going on and all the good things that are happening for you. You know, that's going to be expected. And it's kind of like we said, you know, it's just due diligence on it, make sure it's legit.
Yeah.
I searched the product right away, and I seen other YouTubers that were actually doing reviews of the product. So it's like, well, they must be legit because there's other people out here reviewing it. So
yeah, I was gonna say, like, for me at least, I'm gonna be selective with anything like that. I'm not gonna promote anything that I haven't already tried myself and believe in myself. So
yeah.
So we'll see, you know.
Yeah, definitely. So Carrie ate first sardine on camera. Is pretty funny. She likes them though. Well, that's good. I have never been a huge fish fan, but I don't know. We might have to try that Monday night. Do a little sardine challenge. We'll have to talk about that after the show tomorrow night and see if we want to do that, and then we can promote it too, so people can check that out. Not that, I mean, you've had it, but I haven't, so I'm sure I can make some funny faces on that challenge.
Again, though, I've had mine where I've cooked them up in a frying pan in butter. So I haven't had them just straight out of the can. I don't know. That'd be interesting.
Hey, thanks, Brad, for coming in. We appreciate it. Hey, if anybody's got any questions out there, go ahead and throw them out there. Me and Brian will be happy to answer any questions. If you got anything you want to share, go ahead and throw it out there, and we'll put it up there and see what you got going on. Yep. Definitely. So I'm thinking that I got another comment here. Let's put smoked herring are the same as sardines. Sardines are the juveniles, and they're a lot better tasting. Well, that's good to know for sure. I will say this: I can eat pickled herring, so you know, I'm guessing that's raw fish too. So I'm guessing if I can eat that, I could probably handle the sardines. I would think so. Definitely. You got to send a paid sticker to get that info, Mike. I'm just kidding. That's kind of a secret. It's a trade secret. No, for Newsweek, for me, they actually approached me. They'd watched my YouTube channel, and I don't know, they watched one of my videos, and they're like, hey, we want to do a kind of a story about this. Well, basically what they did, I think they used AI to write the story based on my video. And then, but it's more of a, your turn, like you could write it and submit it, and then they'll either approve it or deny it. In my case, they worked with me. They pretty much did it. I just went over the final thing and said, yeah, I'm okay with it. Wasn't probably how I would have wrote it, but it turned out fine, and it got the message out there. And then I kind of told Brian about it, and I'll let you tell him about that, Brian, if you like.
Yeah, so Greg kept urging me to contact them because, you know, he had done it. So finally I was like, all right, I looked up on the website an email address that they had for my turn. And I just said, hey, you know, I've had, I think I got a good story here with being on the carnivore diet and some health benefits that I've seen. So, you know, if you're interested, reach out to me. And like I think it was later that day or the next day, the editor from the My Turn section contacted me And he had me write out basically a particular format he was looking for. And then from there, he took like a week to edit it up, got some pictures from me, and kind of created the story and did it that way. So Greg's got a cooler story in that they actually contacted him and I kind of initiated for me, but took me a while to do it. And then finally I was like, yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and give this a try. And they actually did respond. So I was like, wow.
Yeah, it worked out. And you know, they have it on that page, and they, you know, that's how I think a lot of people get in there, is they submit it or whatever. But for my case, the editor just seen my story. He's like, hey, can we tell it? You got an interesting story. And I'm like, yeah. So, I mean, it's really cool, and I'm glad I did it. And it definitely helped my YouTube channel and helped get the word out there, you know, on what I was doing. And that's pretty cool. So hello, Nicole. How are you? Welcome to the show. It's always good to see Nicole on here. You missed, you missed all kinds of stuff. Brian said a lot of cool things, and we gave away our trade secrets, and you'll have to watch the replay to catch that.
So Nicole's Eagles are playing Monday night when we're on next Monday night for live stream. So
yep, I think she's got a live on Monday night, or she probably would have been on for the show, but it's understandable though. So next week will be interesting with with it being the holiday. Will people be doing more lives? Will people be putting many videos out? It'll be just kind of interesting to see. I didn't really pay attention last year, but this year it's like, oh, okay, it'll be interesting to see how many videos come out. And I'm thinking the beginning of the week, I really need to plan ahead and try to pump out some extra videos. That way I'm not filming them when family's home, and just trying to do some of that stuff. So I suppose you got a plan too in place a little bit.
Well, now that you just said that, I'm starting to think about it. I hadn't been thinking about it, but you're right. Like, I probably don't want to be creating videos in the middle of having family. So
yeah, and I think
figure that out.
I do think people will be watching over the weekend because they have extra time off Friday, Saturday. So it's like, well, people still want to watch content. So, maybe some will be busy, but I don't know. It's one of those things. So
I think like probably Thursday evening, there will be a lot of people, at least in the US, that are going to be getting on YouTube because they spent all day probably with their families, and now they're ready to,
they need a break,
unwind and relax. Yeah.
Definitely. Go Eagles and sardines. I thought that was kind of funny. So yeah, I'm thinking we're going to have to do that challenge, Brian. It might be kind of fun. Something a little bit different. Yeah. Mike's saying a Super Bowl preview could possibly be. I hope the Niners have something to say on that, but you never know.
I mean, it sure doesn't look like it's going to be the Bills. Have you seen the way they've been playing?
Wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had a feeling they'd be rough this year, but yeah. Well, I think the other thing is the Jets. Obviously, they were disappointing once Rodgers went down. So did their season. I think they would have been a lot better than what they ended up being. But
yeah. And Cleveland's Deshaun Watson just went down with a season-ending injury. So yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the Bengals have been doing better lately, so they might give the Chiefs a little bit of a push. We'll see.
Yeah.
But right now, the Chiefs are looking pretty strong in that conference.
Yeah. That'll be it's going to be interesting end of the year. I see Mike's bringing up the Broncos. That team's kind of surprised me. They started off just horrible, and now they've kind of been putting some wins together, and maybe it's just because it was a new coach and stuff, but that was pretty interesting for sure.
Wasn't the Dolphins that put like 70 points on them earlier in the year?
Right?
Yeah. So they've definitely improved.
Yep, definitely. For sure.
Yeah, they're not going to the Super Bowl, but they've improved.
Yeah. So Brian, do you think I should say something about our little thing that we're starting to plan and put together for December, or should we hold off on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I'm not going to have a lot of details, but since we do have a few people on here, I just want to say me and Brian are planning a special show in December, and it's going to be a low carb party, and I'm just not going to reveal what yet, but we're trying to get at least 10 people on the live stream. We're going to have some fun. Haven't picked out a date or a time yet. It'll probably be in the evening. Just not sure when yet, but going to have to get that figured out soon so we can get the invites out and put that out there, and should be a good time. And I'll give you a hint. It's kind of a festive time of year, so we're going to do a special party next month here, and it should be a good time. And it's just for laughs and for people to hang out and get together, people to comment, and just kind of enjoy the season, and the friends we've made on YouTube, and all our viewers and stuff too. So it should be a good time. Let's go. Seattle Seahawks and Patriots rematch. Yeah, I don't think their Patriots have been disappointing this year.
Yeah, definitely.
Hello, how are you doing tonight?
Hey.
So does anybody in the audience have any big plans coming up for this weekend or the holidays that you want to talk about, especially with Thanksgiving coming up? Just go ahead and put it in the comments if you got your Thanksgiving ideas planned, any kind of food that you're trying that's new this year that maybe you haven't eaten in the past. It's always kind of nice to see what people are doing. Hi, Carrie, in the other chat.
So while we're waiting to see comments, thinking of Thanksgiving, we're like almost a week out now, right? It's a week from tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask a couple questions here, and let's see if Greg can answer these. When was the first Thanksgiving football game? What year was it?
Boy, I don't. Is it for NFL, you mean?
This is just Thanksgiving football game.
Oh,
I can tell you it was not NFL. It was a college game, as a matter of fact.
I'm guessing back in 1908. We'll see if I'm close. I don't know. I have any idea.
It was actually 1876.
Oh, I knew it was a long time ago, but
I forgot to write the teams down, but I think it was Yale against Princeton or something like that.
Wow. That's a long time ago. I mean, you're talking almost, what did you say it was 1870 something?
1876. It was Yale against Princeton, and Yale defeated Princeton 2-0.
What does scores count as 1 point?
I don't know.
That's a fun fact. That's pretty interesting. You'll have to share that tomorrow night too. I think that's kind of interesting. When you think about that's 150 years. I mean, that's a long time ago. So
yeah. All right, I got one more for you. So that was the first football game on Thanksgiving. How about the first professional game on Thanksgiving? Professional football game on Thanksgiving.
I'm trying to think. It probably wasn't the NFL, it was AFL and some of those other teams. I'm still guessing it's back in the early, maybe the 1920s.
Yeah, it was 1920.
Oh, yeah, that's a good guess.
Yeah.
That was a pure guess too. So
it was, I believe, if I got this right, it was Akron. No, I'm sorry. It was Akron against Canton, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Is what it was. So, yeah.
Wouldn't it be fun to get in a time machine and go back then and watch the game just for fun?
Oh my God.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Those leather helmets and everything, right? Funny story. My grandfather played college football, and that was back in the day when they had leather helmets.
Mm-hmm.
So that was probably like in the 20s, I'm guessing. So,
right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's, if we showed up in a time machine at the game, the coach would probably grab us and throw us in there with our helmets because we'd probably be way bigger than anybody else on the field, would be my guess. That would be my guess. Even though we're slimmed down, they'd still think hey, these guys are huge. Throw them in there.
Oh, man. So I talk about the University of Toledo a lot, right? I went to school there and
Yep.
everything. Big fan of them. So I know one of the guys that used to be coaches there. He's retired now, and he also played back in his day. This wasn't quite that long ago. I think it was like the '60s or early '70s when he played. But he was an offensive lineman, and he was like 5'10", 200 pounds or something like that. And he was an offensive lineman. Could you imagine that today's game? I mean, that's a
Yeah.
running back today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the players have definitely gotten bigger. For sure. I mean, even think back from when I was in high school. I was considered a big guy at 6'2", 265 pounds my junior year. I was like one of the bigger guys on the field, and it's like it's changed a lot. I mean, when I went to college, I had guys bigger than me, obviously, but yeah, it's changed. Players have gotten bigger, stronger, probably faster too, I would say. I
Yeah.
don't know if they're tougher though. I think back then we were pretty tough, but they seems like they get hurt a lot now. I was
Yeah.
gonna
I mean,
say,
you can't touch the quarterback now. Like before, they used to just
yeah.
get hammered.
Oh yeah. Yep. The rules were a little bit different. So Carrie's going to my daughter. She's a fabulous cook. She knows I'm carnivore. She's low carb. So oh yeah,
Great.
that'll be an awesome feast for sure. Lots of good food.
Yeah.
So your dad's high school team didn't have face masks. They finally got them, and Dad broke his and didn't get another one. Interesting. I wonder what they're made out of. Probably plastic, I'm assuming, but I don't know. I guess
Hmm.
I don't know. Maybe if they didn't have plastic back then, I'm not sure. Sometimes I think they're metal and they're coated with stuff too. But yeah, you got to live life a little too. I think that's the thing. I think it's okay once in a while to do that kind of stuff. I don't have a problem with that. And as long as you get back on your normal plan and eating, that's where people go wrong, once they go off a plan and then they don't get back
Hmm.
on and then they're in trouble. So, it's definitely your life. And if that's what you like to do, then why not? I'm all for that.
Right. Like you said, that's the key, and make sure you get back on it
Yeah.
afterward.
Yep. I always like to say that's when a person really loses the game is when they don't get back on the plan. So
Yeah.
for sure. Helmet came up to everybody's shoulders pads. Yeah, that's funny.
He was like Rudy in the huddle.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike. Couldn't resist.
So, Brian, are you? I know we did talk a little bit about food in our last low carb football party, but is there anything special you're going to fix on Thanksgiving at all?
Not really anything special. Well, so we're not eating until later in the evening because
Hmm.
my oldest daughter and son are going to be coming back during the day, so they won't be here until later. So for me, I guess you call it special. My plan is I'm going to make myself a nice steak earlier in the day, and then I'll just hopefully only be a little hungry and eat a little bit of turkey. I'm like we always have deviled eggs, so I'll probably eat some of that and try and not eat other stuff. I'm not gonna sweat it if I do have like a little piece of pumpkin pie or something like that. But right now the plan is I'm gonna be full and I'm not going to go there. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea. It's gonna be a little different for me this year too, because usually we have Thanksgiving at my house at noon, and we're not this year because not all the kids can be here, and my brother's family and stuff. So we're actually doing it on Saturday at noon. So that'll be a little change of pace. But on Thanksgiving, I'm definitely bringing some steaks out, and we'll probably I have some bunch of New York strips, and I think I'm gonna drag those out of the freezer and have some of those. Those should be good for
Mm.
sure. Yeah, like that. I think she's talking about mashed potatoes,
Mashed
sweet
potatoes, sweet
potatoes. Yep,
potatoes, yeah,
yep,
yeah.
yep, definitely. But no, that's okay. I will say this. I mean, I don't think this whole year, I have not had mashed potatoes.
Mm.
I don't think I did at Easter unless I had a spoon just to try them, taste them. That's the only thing I can think of, but I don't think I've had any. No, no French fries either. Maybe one off of a plate or something. That's about it. I've not missed potatoes and I've not missed bread. Surprisingly, so for me.
Yeah, I've never been a big bread fan, so I don't miss them, but I do have mashed potatoes every once in a while. I know I shouldn't, but I do sometimes. It's not like it's very often though, like maybe once a month or something.
Yeah, definitely. I just wanted to remind people tomorrow night we will be on live for the low carb football party, and then we're going to have a turn around and have a show on Monday as well, the week of Thanksgiving, and we're not going to have the Thursday show on Thanksgiving. So just want to remind people that make sure you tune in. We got some great guests coming on, and they're gonna. I think tomorrow night, aren't we sharing some success stories and some challenges that people had, and we're going to talk about that. And of course, we talk a little bit about everything kind of when it comes to the low carb football party. We take a lot of questions about diet, and we're pretty open, easygoing guys. We just want people to partake and participate. We have a lot of fun, and it's not all about football either. I mean, sometimes the conversation is very much about low carb, keto, carnivore diets. Sometimes, depending on the guests, we don't even update the scores as often as we probably should, but it's all good though. I mean,
yeah, sometimes it's like a half hour, 45 minutes. I'm like, wait, what's going on in the game? Do we know?
Yeah. Bread or chips. I eat pork rinds quite a bit. Do you have pork rinds at all ever, Brian?
Occasionally. I was doing them more earlier on than I have more recently. I think I've only had, so I can get a bag at Aldi for a pretty good price. So I'll get one from there sometimes, but I think I've only gotten like one bag in the last 2 to 3 months or so.
Okay. Yeah.
So I haven't had very many of them lately.
We usually have a couple when we get the Ray's salt and pepper ones, and I just kind of like it if I need a something to crunch on. Not that they're my favorite or anything, but it replaces the potato chips. Yeah, I used to eat a lot of chips and salsa at nighttime, and I don't do that anymore. Nicole doesn't like pork rinds. There's a lot of people that don't.
I'll put a little bit of Redmond's salt in there in the bag with it and shake it up, and that's good that way. I like it that way.
Yeah, sometimes I add extra salt for sure. I will say this about pork rinds. If you ever want like breaded chicken, use pork rinds as the breading. It works great. You can do that on fish too. And I enjoy it. It gives you a little bit of different it's something different from what you normally been eating. So I definitely enjoy doing that. Once in a while. Mike doesn't like pork rinds either. You got to get the flavored ones though, otherwise the plain ones are just But I like the salt and pepper, salt and vinegar, or I think they have a vinegar one that's pretty good. Sometimes they have a barbecue one too. Ray's, they're called. I think sometimes I do see them at Aldi too, but I do pick them up at Walmart usually.
So I got to tell you, I'm a little crazy with it, and the flavored ones sometimes have some other ingredients in them.
Yeah.
So I just get the originals. And I don't think they're that bad. To me, they're definitely better than sardines. So
yeah. I think it's always important to look at the ingredients, because sometimes some of that stuff they put in there stuff that they shouldn't, and you always got to keep that in the back of your mind too, and for sure. Yeah, it works out good. I mean, I made some good chicken sandwiches that way, just with the breading from pork rinds. So, I mean, you don't really taste it. I mean, it just, I don't know, just like it gives it breading, like you're eating breaded chicken. So, for sure. You could make a country fried steak if you like steak. Get some steak and put some breading on it with the pork rinds if you like that. I probably miss gravy once in a while, but not too often. I mean, I don't know. I've just moved on from that stuff, I guess. So, so do your kids have the week off next week from school, or is it just some of the week?
Yeah, there's no school. And my youngest, she doesn't have a job right now. I think she's going to start looking in second semester, but this was her first semester of college. So we wanted her to start out just concentrating on college. So she's coming right back this weekend. She's going to be here, like, I think Friday, actually. But my other two kids have jobs, and the one works Wednesday evening and the other one works Thursday morning. And they are in a townhouse with a third person together, because they're out by Virginia Tech. So they're going to be coming back Thursday during the day. And then I think they have to go back right away on Friday, because of work.
Yeah.
Where the youngest one will be here like all week. She comes back, I think it's this Friday, and then she's here all through the next weekend before she has to go back.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice.
Yeah, my son, I know they have a football, Iowa State has a home football game Saturday, and I know he has to work it for whatever I don't know, he's in a club, and they got to raise money for traveling. And I know he has to work at the football game concessions, but I think he's coming probably home Sunday, but he's off all week too. And then of course my daughters won't come home till the end of next week, but they got to work all week and stuff. But yeah, it'll be a good time. It's always good having the kids home and getting all the kids under one roof again. It's kind of a rarity now. It's, a handful of times a year. So Hello, Becky. She doesn't like pork rinds either. Ground up into meatballs, kind of mushy. Yeah, they can be for sure. From Whole Foods are good, and air fried. Cooked in lard. Yeah, that'd be interesting to try those. I know some people use them and they use a dip with it too. I'm not sure if they use a sour cream. I'm not sure what they would use. Obviously for maybe a cheese, I guess you could say. So we could do cheese, just gotta limit it. So try to get caught up on some of these comments here. No school on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. That's good. Or if you get the job. Yeah, hopefully that turns out for you, Mike. Definitely. I know what that's like, looking for a job, and I actually am meeting with someone tomorrow for the final time. I'm pretty sure they're going to come with an offer. We'll see what happens, but yeah, I've been doing quite a few interviews lately, so it's good to get out again, but it's going to be different. Yep. Good luck, Mike. Yeah, if they're going to spend the money on the drug test, you're definitely probably getting an offer, I would say, as long as you pass the drug test. So definitely. Saying hi in the other chat. It's awesome that everybody comes in on both channels. I mean, that's that we love that. Yeah. So you're supporting both of us that way. So that's pretty
wow. So Becky's doing a 5K on Thanksgiving.
Wow, that's awesome. That is awesome for sure. I got to thinking about that too, Brian, and actually we'll probably talk more about challenges tomorrow night, but I definitely want to do some challenges coming up, at least in the new year, if not the end of the year. End of the year's kind of busy now, but I want to build myself up where I could walk a 5K. I would love to be able to do that. I'm not even close now, but nothing says I can't be in a couple months if I start working on it. So, but I think it's good to challenge ourselves. And I think, like I said, we'll talk more about that tomorrow night on the low carb football party. But definitely, I think it's good to challenge ourselves. And a lot of times we can do more than we know. So for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Santa sprint. There you go. I see a lot of videos on people doing a lot of sprinting. It's kind of interesting to see. There must be a lot of benefits to that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Was it Dr. Sean O'Mara? Check out his videos about it. But yeah, that's something that I want to kind of get into, is doing some sprinting, but maybe when it gets warmer in the spring.
Yeah.
It's kind of cold for me right now. I know that sounds crazy, but
Joe Blow, what's a 5K? 3.1 miles or 3.2 miles, something like that. So yeah, it's I don't know. I think if you're just walking it, you should be able to do it. And I don't know. I mean, even if you're doing 3 miles per hour, I mean, that kind of gives you an idea for walking. But a lot of people walk 3.5, 4 miles an hour. So it should take less than an hour, I would think, to do it for
Hmm.
sure.
Yeah.
A jingle jog. Yep. Hopefully less time than an hour, but you never know.
Yeah. But you know, so this is something we'll probably talk about tomorrow again, like I said. But
Hmm.
you know, think about like some people, for them to do a 5K, they're overcoming some kind of big challenges they had. Like
Yeah.
Greg, you know, I don't want to talk about too much here, but let's just talk about your own experience a little bit. Like
Yeah.
you had that video out the other day where you're showing the cane that you had
Yeah.
purchased and everything, and you know, being disabled, and that there was no way you were going to do a 5K. And
Right.
you know, obviously that was before doing low carb.
Hmm.
But now it's something that you could do.
I could
So
achieve it if I
an
really.
accomplishment now for some people. And for other people, you know, they might be thinking like, well, yeah, I could easily do a 5K, but not everybody's in the same position. Some people, you
Yep.
know, for some people, it's amazing that they can even do that now.
Yep. Definitely. So, yeah, it's something I might look at for sure, especially after the new year. Probably. I mean, in Iowa we aren't going to have any 5Ks till spring, anyways. But I'd like to build myself up where I could actually do a 5K, and who knows, maybe I could jog again. Wouldn't that be awesome to go from almost using a cane to being able to jog again? I mean, that'd be pretty amazing, non-scale victory, so to speak.
Mm.
The thought of
Yeah.
that, especially after I thought wasn't going to be able to do anything the rest of my life. So
Yeah. Like I
pretty,
said, you know, for like me, I'm interested in like doing some sprinting. I don't know that I want to do any long distance running. I've never been good at just running. I've never really liked that. Walking is fine, but I've never been into running. So I don't know if I'd really be into trying to do like a run a 5K or anything like that. But I would definitely do sprinting. I think that there's some good benefits to that. So
yep. And yeah, if you guys are interested, make sure you tune in tomorrow night. We're going to have a couple of guests on that just recently did had some success with some challenges, and you're going to want to hear their stories about that too. So make sure you tune in tomorrow night during the low carb football party. Joe Blow runs 15 to 20K 6 times a week. Wow, that's awesome.
yeah, I don't know how many miles that is, but that sounds really good.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. Easier than you think. Yep. Yeah, I think once you probably get into it, I'm guessing it's probably
Yeah. And you
achievable.
know, I mean, I guess so. I should say this because I did just say like, you know, I've never been into running or anything like that. It may be different now with carnivore. Maybe I should try it. In the past, for me, it wasn't good. You know, I had too many issues, and I would get issues with my feet, whether it be plantar fasciitis or something like that. So running never really worked for me in the past, and I didn't like it. But maybe it would be different now on carnivore. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know. I definitely feel like I could jog a little. I don't know how much, but nor do I want to do a whole bunch of jogging, but just going for a walk. I mean, a huge walk would be a big win for me. And who knows, maybe I'd end up jogging a little too, just to challenge myself. I think back 100 pounds ago, and like if I tried to jog, I probably would have hurt something for sure. I don't think it would have been very good for me to do that, but let alone all the pain I was in anyways. But so 10 to 13 miles, he was saying, yeah, that's a lot. That's good.
Mhm.
Yeah, shoes are a big thing, even just walking. I mean, I noticed that too. It's like, man, you got to have good shoes. Make sure they aren't worn out, because that will cause you a lot of problems if you don't.
Yeah, I remember one time, and I had running shoes. I had running shoes, and I wasn't too heavy, but I was up there still. It was definitely before, you know, doing any of this, but I wasn't at my heaviest heavy. And I tried deciding that I was gonna start doing some running, and I think I did like 2 or 3 days in a row of maybe going about 2 blocks, and that was it. Like my feet were done at that point. My one foot swelled up, which of course that was one of the issues I used to have. And yeah, that wasn't going to go good. So
Hmm.
yeah. And that was with having running shoes. So, again, like maybe it's different with Carnivore. But yeah, it hasn't been good for me in the past.
We'll see you later, Mike. Have a good night.
All right, Mike.
Thanks for coming in.
Now that's something I can do. I know for sure is the hiking. I like doing the hiking. And I did really well with that this past summer when we were in the Smoky Mountains. So that was nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think back, we went to Colorado and did hiking. I'm trying to remember if it was 2015 was the last time we were there. And, I said to myself, to my wife, I go, I'll never be able to do that again. But at the same time now, it's like, I might be able to, that's how much my life has changed, and here I was kind of sad because I really enjoyed it and it was fun. But I kind of told myself, man, I'll never be able to do that again. But that may not be the case. I may be able to do that again. So definitely it'd be cool to be able to do that again. I could come over your way and go to the Smoky Mountains and do some hiking there. That'd be awesome because I've never been over that way. So for sure.
Yeah.
I bet a massage did feel good. I've been wanting to get one of those for a long time. I did go to the chiropractor today, though. I hadn't been in a while, and they gave me a good crack in my neck and my back, and my hip was a little bit out of place. I had not been for several months, so I hadn't needed to go, but I could tell I was getting headaches and stuff. It's like, I need to get some things done, and it worked out good. So my chiropractor was super happy, though. He was really excited because he kind of seen me at my worst, and he's seen how far I've come and has been a big supporter too. So he was just all smiles and really excited to hear about what was going on. So he's a good guy, and his wife works there too. And it was good to see him because it'd been a few months, and they, obviously they could tell a difference in me. So it was just nice to be able to run into them. And
that's great.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's fun running into people that you haven't seen in a while and they just see your transformation. Man, I continue to run across old pictures that I kind of want to share because it's just I've changed so much just in a short period of time. It's crazy, but feels good.
Hey,
hello. How are you? Glad you're here. It's okay if you're late. Yeah. If anybody's got any questions, go ahead and throw them out there. We'll be on for a little bit longer, but if you do have questions, get them out there. Just want to, again, we're going to be live tomorrow night with the low carb football party. We got a good game to watch. We got a couple great guests on. Should be a lot of fun as usual. And we're always looking to get more people in, and we love the chat and the interaction. So definitely. So, Brian, I guess we can do a little bit of football talk. How your Lions had a bye week. Do you know who they're playing this week?
I did, and now I forgot. Oh, it's the Bears.
The Bears. Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's the Bears.
Yeah.
They have a pretty nice schedule coming up here.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Bears. Let me look it up. Yep, they play the Bears in Detroit.
Oh, should be an easy win for them, I would think.
So this is a schedule. The next two games are at home. They got the Bears, then the Packers on Thanksgiving, then at the Saints, then they're in Chicago, then they're hosting the Denver Broncos, and then they play at Minnesota. That's when it gets interesting there. Those two of the last three games are against the Vikings.
I must say the Vikings are an interesting team right now. They're kind of fun to watch because you just don't know what you're going to get. The quarterback they traded for has been playing well considering he's just learning the offense. And, they may make Arizona look silly on that trade, just giving up a 7th round pick for him. And here he's coming in here and playing. He's got more. I seen a stat that he has more TD passes than the kid in New York, the Jets. Is his last name Wilson? No. Why can't I think of his name?
The guy for the Jets?
Yeah, the quarterback for the Jets. He played at BYU. I can't think of his name.
Wilson. His last name is Wilson. I can't remember his first name.
Yeah, I mean, the new guy in Minnesota has more TDs than him. and he just played 2 games. So it was kind of interesting to see that. But I was going to say, we do have a question here. Do either of you do fasting or whatever reason? Go ahead, Brian.
Is that fasting or feasting?
Oh, feasting. Yeah, I think she probably meant fasting, I'm guessing. But could be.
So, all right, I guess we can start with fasting. And I guess, Simpson, if you meant feasting, just go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm not sure what you would mean by feasting, but I'm just thinking Thanksgiving on my mind right now. But so let's say it's fasting. No, wait, she says feasting. Okay.
I guess I'm not familiar with that. So you have to, maybe you can tell me what that.
Yeah, I'm going to say that I don't do that unless that's like when you used to eat like a bunch of food at once, I'm guessing. And I used to do that like at holiday times before carnivore. So like, let's talk about Thanksgiving, for instance. In the past, I would eat way too much, way too many carbs, eat a couple desserts and stuff like that. And matter of fact, when I had a-fib one time, I ate so badly that I actually put myself into a-fib that evening.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So I've done that, which is not a good thing. I don't know exactly what feasting means, though. Oh, here we go. Becky's putting it down. You see that? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Actually, I interviewed Todd last night, and he was talking about steak and butter game. I have not had a chance to even check them out, but yeah, because there's priming too. I know he was talking about. And none of this I know zero. I know zilch about it, so it's one of those things I got to go check them out and learn because I'm not sure what all that is. But it looks interesting. I'm willing to learn, so it's one of those things. Definitely. I mean, I think you beef up your calories. I know that. So, yep, just like Kip. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna have a hard time wrapping my mind around that. And I think part of that's because I've been keto most of the time. And it's like, well, I was only eating 1,300 calories. I couldn't imagine eating 5,000 calories, I still struggle with that, so I know calorie is just a definition of a unit. And I know, you've talked about this, Brian, too, but for some reason, I just can't wrap my mind around eating that many calories for whatever reason. So, but not saying I'm right or wrong. I just don't, I just, like I said, I can't really fathom that. Not that people aren't doing it, because obviously they are, and they're having some success. So,
yeah, I mean, so I'm not a nutritionist or a nutritional doctor or anything like that. So I don't really know if there are benefits with it or anything. Personally, right now, it doesn't sound like something I'd be interested in doing because I know that what I do works, and I don't feel like really changing it other than maybe minor tweaks here and there when I need to. So it's probably not anything I'm going to even really look into, to be honest.
Yeah. I was going to say, for me, I have not been tracking calories, but I'm guessing, yes, I probably eat 1,500 to 1,800 now. If I was just doing keto, I would definitely be at 13 to 1,400 probably. And that's where the bulk of my weight was lost doing that. So it's just one of those things. And the carb number for me is I tried to eat less than 20 grams. Usually I averaged about 13 grams of carbs when I was tracking everything and really losing weight. It was 13 grams of carbs for me, about 1,300 calories, 1,400 calories. And that was successful for me. And it's going to vary depending on the person. I know, sometimes I know with carnivore, I know, Brian, I'm sure you eat considerably more calories than that on carnivore. You don't really count the calories, I know. But yeah, I mean, it's going to vary depending on the person, but I think that's why it's nice to kind of track your food and what you eat, because then you know what you're consuming and the amount of calories, some of the carbs, some of that, all that stuff. I think it's kind of good to watch, because then you're going to learn what works for your body and what doesn't. So, and everybody's going to be a little bit different. So that's why I'm real big on, you should track your food for sure.
Yeah. I think most days I probably eat between 2 to 3 pounds of meat throughout the day between 2 meals, sometimes one, but usually 2 meals. I have no idea how many calories that is. obviously, depending on how lean or how fatty the meat is, it makes a difference too. But again, that kind of gets me into calorie discussion I don't want to go into. So I don't know, but
Right.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting thing, because this is something I get a lot of comments on, or people will email me or something, and they'll be like, yeah, you're only lost the weight that you've lost because you're not eating that much. It all comes down to calories in, calories out, they say. And you're only eating like 1,500 calories. And it's like, okay, I don't know what to say. Like, one day I might have 2 pounds worth of ribeye. You can't tell me that's only 1,500 calories. I mean, there's been times that I've eaten at least 2 pounds or close to 2 pounds in a setting, and then having something later.
Right.
So there's no way that I'm that low on my calories. So again, it goes to the whole calorie thing, which I don't want to get into so much, but it's not so much about calories. It's about the food you're eating. I tried the whole thing back in the day with the calorie restriction, and yeah, you can lose weight. But if you're not eating the right foods, it's not going to last. Your body's going to need to eat something that it's not getting, and you're just going to end up splurging and gaining the weight back. So,
yep. I will say this too, when I was doing keto with, I was eating probably 70% fat. I tried to always hit that mark for the fat, and the rest was protein, for the most part. So, I think I would do, I don't know, 120 to 150 grams of protein a day. Fat, I try to get over 100 grams of fat for sure. But yeah, I usually try to be in the 70% mark for fat. So just to kind of gauge it, I suppose if you kept that ratio and had more calories, you could still lose the weight because it's going to burn the fat. So makes sense. I mean, what you're saying, I get what you're saying about the calories for sure, Brian. I'm not denying what you're saying isn't true. That's for sure. So
yeah. So you see, Becky posted there, 1 pound of ribeye is only about 1,300 calories, she says, give or take. So let's say that's true, which it could be. I don't know, because I don't pay that much attention. But if it is, and let's say I basically eat 2 to 3 pounds a day, that's got to put me closer to 3,000 calories.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, if calories in, calories out really mattered, especially if I'm not very active, I should be gaining weight, which I'm not.
Yep. Yeah, makes sense. Williams, I was going to say, Williams going to fast Thanksgiving week, Monday through Friday. Well, good luck on that one, and hope it works out good for you. Fasting's a great tool. I say this, my wife lost a lot of weight fasting. So I think that's just another tool in the arsenal. Let's see here. Eating over 3,000 calories a day. That's a lot of meat. It is for sure. Yeah, I got to check out the Steak and Butter Gang. Todd was talking about that quite a bit last night. And I just want to see what they have to say and see what it's all about. And he talks about priming and all that. And basically, it's kind of a healing the body, it sounds like, and get you prepped and ready to lose more weight, especially when you go into fasting and everything else. So it's interesting. I definitely want to learn more about it. So
yeah, I know. So Bella is the one that started that, the Steak and Butter gal, and she was originally vegan and then went carnivore. So she's got an interesting story. So you should check her stuff out.
Yeah, that was the other thing. I even wrote it down, Bella. So it's definitely interesting. Yeah, if that's hard to lose weight. I think your body goes into starvation mode. If you're not eating enough, consuming enough calories or energy, I think that definitely can come into play. Yeah, and I know some people had to pick up how much they're eating to lose weight, even if they are doing 1,400 calories. For them, they may need to eat 1,800 to lose, if they're tracking calories. So it definitely is, everybody's a little different. You have to find that magic number, and just like the carbs and everything else, you got to find what works for you and make adjustments as you go. And I guess that's why I've never just said, hey, I'm full carnivore, or I'm keto, or I'm ketovore, or I'm low carb, because it's like, well, I've used them all. They're all tools to help me, and I've moved back and forth and had some success. So, I think sometimes we have to do that. So definitely.
And I think how much you eat is going to depend too on your energy levels. So somebody that's working out a lot or walking a lot or whatever, they're going to need more energy. And basically, if you're eating the proper human diet, your food is basically for energy for your body. So you're going to need to eat more. You're going to need more, food to fuel your body and have that energy. So it all really depends on a lot of factors.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
how much you need to
2,000
eat.
calorie. Yep. Yeah, protein and fat. I think that's the biggest thing, if you are tracking, it's just, are you taking enough fat? I know when I was doing keto, I'd kind of get the end of the night and look, and it's like, okay, I had some, I was looking at calories, but it's like, well, I had calories left, but yet my fat wasn't there. And it's like, guess what? I'd grab the jar of olives because olives was fat. So I'd eat some olives and that'd get my fat ratio up there. So, and that's doing a keto diet, obviously, but, there's definitely tracking that's a good, I just think it's a good idea. I think even on carnivore, it's a good idea to track because it's going to help you narrow some things down in your body. So you can see, okay, I need to adjust one way or the other and see what happens. I don't think it's a bad idea anyways. I think for me, after I was tracked long enough for 6 months and I had a lot of success, I kind of went away from tracking because it was like, well, I know what I need to eat. It makes a difference when you've been doing it a while, but when you're newer, I think it's very beneficial to track because you're going to see where you're going wrong, or learn, more about your body and I think the thing is you learn where you went wrong in the past too. You realize, oh, no wonder I was messed up, or no wonder I gained this weight because I wasn't eating properly and it just didn't work.
I tracked my food intake every day for probably at least, I'd say, the first 3-4 months or more. So I don't do it anymore, but that's definitely a good thing to do when you're early on.
Yep. I wanted to get back and say hi to Gail. I know she's here. And let's see here. Some of this we might have had, but I just wanted to make sure I hit everybody here. Yep. And Gail doesn't track calories anymore. Yeah. Yep. Well, if you get any final questions, get them in. I know we're going to probably be wrapping this up here pretty quick, but I just want to remind everybody we're going to be back on here tomorrow night, right, Brian? 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the Low Carb Football Party. We got a couple great guests on. We're going to talk about some challenges and achieving those. And was there anything particular else that we were going to talk about, Brian, tomorrow night that I may be not hitting on? I think that was it.
We'll probably talk about an update on the November No Way.
Yeah.
No Way November. Is that what No Way November? I guess that's what it's called.
Yep. No scale, no way November. Yep. Whatever you want to call it. Yep. We'll be talking about that for sure and give a little update on that. And just hopefully you guys can all make it back in and have an active chat. It's always fun and should be a good football game too. So definitely. Brian, do you have any final thoughts for the show tonight?
No, I mean, this has been a good discussion. We actually ended up going a little bit over because there was a lot of stuff that was coming in. There's just a question that came in too.
Yeah,
so
I'll get it.
The question saved me because I was probably just gonna talk nonsense for 2 minutes. So here we go.
Any tips to make reheated meat taste better? You bring pre-cooked food. So I was gonna say, do you have an air fryer at work? That'd be nice to have. I think that would make it better. For sure when it comes to meat. Obviously, you maybe put a little reseason it before you cook it or warm it up. Sometimes, just that extra salt or Redmond's. It's kind of funny, but I've been noticing Redmond's has a lot of different options for seasoning now, seasoned salt. I definitely want to try some of it. Brian, I don't know about you, but I'm not afraid to use seasoning on my meat. I kind of have been all along. Have I just done Redmond's? Yep. Have I done some others? Yep, I have. It just really depends on the individual, but I noticed Redmond's has quite a few different ones that I really would like to try. And with Christmas, I might ask for some of those for gifts. Not a bad idea to try some of that stuff out. Have you thought about trying any of those flavored salts that they have, Brian?
I haven't. I mostly just, use salt, to be honest. Occasionally, like if I'm having pork butt or something like that, and smoking that, I'll probably use a little bit of something else. But yeah, for the most part, I just use salt. So
yeah,
I haven't.
Yeah, definitely. I was gonna say, William, yep, we'll pray for your father for tomorrow and that he has a successful surgery and that he heals from any ailments or problems that he has. We'll pray for him for that. And 83, that's awesome. Vietnam veteran, yep, thank you for his service. That's awesome that he served the country like that. So you definitely have some prayers going your way. You're welcome. And yeah, that's awesome. Supporting community, we love it. That's the nice thing. Yeah, there's a prayer right there. Awesome. For sure. Well, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. It was a great conversation tonight. And that's why we do these little lives like this. We give people an opportunity to ask questions. And, I think every show I learn something new. And it's just fun to do and get together and see what everybody else has to say and hang out a little bit. And I always like to pick Brian's brain a little bit and get some of his wisdom. So it's always nice to do this with you too, Brian.
Yeah, I don't know how much wisdom I got out there, but
oh, come on now. Yeah, that's your boss hates the smell of food. Yeah, that's a tough one for sure. So hopefully you can find some ways around that and make that happen. So
I mean, this might not be the most popular option, but eat it cold.
Yeah. I was thinking
at least it's not drying it out. I mean, I don't know.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, it makes sense. Once again, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night. And thanks again, Brian. And we'll see you all very soon. Take care, my friends. See you later.
Bye.